Are you following me? Who may? Do you see anyone else behind me? No. You are following me, weren't you? I may have been going in the same direction. You look familiar. Do I know you? I suppose it's possible. I know you. I've seen you somewhere before. It's been a while. Where do I know you from? From your childhood? Childhood? Yes. High school. Earlier. Junior high. Earlier. Alice Smith grade school. Right around there. So, you went to Alice Smith. Well, not me personally. What do you mean not you personally? Did you go to Alice Smith or not? Not. Then how did I know you? I know someone who went to Alice Smith. Who? You? This is ridiculous. Just tell me how I know you. I'm your conscience. Wait a minute. You are my conscience. Please don't yell at me again. I'm not yelling at you. What do you mean again? See? You're yelling again. Listen, why don't I just go away again? Wait a minute. No, if you're just going to yell at me again. I know, when I'm not wanted. Please? Just tell me something. You're not going to yell. I promise. What would you like to know? Are you really my conscience? Yes. How is it that I didn't recognize my own conscience? It's been a long time since we've spoken. A long time. Years ago. Once you started yelling at me, I figured you didn't want to hear from me. Oh. Yeah. Would you like me to remind you? No. I remember now. I told you that you were a figment of my imagination and you should go away and leave me alone. I guess things haven't changed much. Wait a minute. Yes. Why did you come back? It was your conversation at dinner last night. Dinner? Yes. Last night? Yes. I was alone with this guy. You overheard what we said. Maybe before you start yelling again, I'll just... Wait a minute. If you don't want to talk to me, I'll just be on my way. Look. You can't just drop this bomb on me and then leave. What bomb? You said you overheard my conversation with Brandon last night. That's right. We were alone. How could you hear? I hear all of your conversations. I'm your conscience. It's what I do. So, you've always been there, but I don't go where I'm not wanted. So, what made you think I'd want to talk to you now? You are talking to Brandon about spiritual things. I thought you might be ready. Spiritual things. Oh yes. Turns out Brandon is a Christian. We didn't have much in common. I told him I didn't want to go out with him anymore. As your conscience, I must remind you that it was Brandon who said he doesn't date non-Christians. Now I remember why I shut you up. You really know how to irritate a person. Sorry. It's what I do. So, you thought that, just because I went to dinner with a Christian, I might be more vulnerable to my conscience. Oh, that's not why I'm here. Then why are you here? I came to answer your question. What question? The question you asked Brandon last night at dinner. Oh, yes. I really stumped him. Right after that, he announced that he couldn't date me anymore. I asked him if God is really a loving God. how could he allow an innocent native in the jungles of South America to go to hell, just because there was no one around him to tell him about Jesus? Yes. That's the question. Really stumped him. Cut him off at the knees. Yes, you did. But you're not here to hound me about being cruel to Brandon. No. I came here to answer your question. My question. If God is really a loving God, how could he allow an innocent native in the jungles of South America to go to hell, just because there was no one around him to tell him about Jesus? So, what's the answer? He doesn't. He doesn't what? God doesn't allow an innocent native in the jungles of South America to go to hell, just because there was no one around him to tell him about Jesus. I don't understand. If the native goes to hell, he goes to hell because he sinned. It's the sin that sends him to hell. Thanks for listening. Wait a minute. Yes. How does a native in a remote South American jungle even know what sin is? Same as you. What's that? He has a conscience just like me telling him what's right and wrong. He has a conscience. God designed every human being with a conscience. So, everybody gets nagged like you used to nag at me. And just like you, they sometimes choose to ignore the voice of their conscience. And as you find out, the more you ignore me, the easier it is to forget what your conscience is like. Oh. Well, thanks for listening. I'll leave now, before you start yelling again. Wait. Yes. That was my best shot. Excuse me. That question I asked Brandon last night. That was my best shot at cutting off Christians who want to convert me. You've just made me defenseless. Are you going to start yelling at me again? No. I'm really vulnerable now. I need some more answers. Well, if you want some more answers in order to keep you from becoming a Christian, I'm afraid. No. If hell is a real possibility for me, I want real answers. Well, answers are what I do best. Let's go get your Bible and find a quiet place to talk. So, tell me. Where have you been hiding all these years? Based on a play by Bob Snook. Conditions for use: do not sell any part of this script, even if you rewrite it. Pay no royalties, even if you make money from performances. You may reproduce and distribute this script freely, but all copies must contain this copyright statement.